All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Got a very special guest today, Mr. Noah Lamb.
What's up?
And he's here to talk to you guys and me today about the impact social media can have on professional and college athletes. So first I'd like to start out, ask you kind of, do you think that social media can make athletes kind of more of a superhero than they already are? Like, viewed as not human or something?
I think social media can portray something you're not, either in a good or bad way. For example, like there's a lot of people out there that'll show just their charity work and things like that through things like Instagram and Twitter. But then you've got clowns like Antonio Brown that one day he's trying to be a good guy, then the next day he's like, oh, screw this, like I never want to play for the NFL again. And he's just kind of flip-flopping, tearing his image down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. But now, are you saying those people who only show their charity work, are you saying that's something, they're just trying to portray the good side of them and not their entire person?
Yeah, I feel like it shows their highlights. Like, then you've got the in-between, like people that show their regular life, like their wives, families, things like that. But, I mean, I feel like I had somebody in mind, but I can't really think of, like, anybody specifically that just does that. But I know a lot of people show just their sponsorships and things like that to show the work that they do outside of sports.
Basically, things they're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Right. And now the companies will pay for that because there's so many views they're getting, so many likes, so many, purchases ultimately of their company's product.
Yeah.
And that's why, millions and millions of people follow them. And that's kind of what puts they're on a pedestal after, being a professional athlete or something, making all that money, having a, life people envy. But now all of a sudden, now on social media, they're being put on an even higher platform. Do you think that brings more pressure, just all around to their game, like their lifestyle, like, do you think that changes them even more than being an athlete?
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you're somebody I definitely have in mind when you talk about putting themselves on a pedestal is Jalen Ramsey. He goes, or Jamal Adams on the Jets. They love talking trash over social media. So when they go out and talk all this trash, it really puts them up on a higher degree. So if somebody kind of uses them in a game or does better than them, they did better for themselves. Does that make sense?
No, gotcha. Now, do you see a lot of people, after a week say they have a good week against one of those guys, are they on social media trash them, or just kind of head down doing their own thing,
It depends on the player. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of, in the NBA especially, you've got like Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. He loves talking trash, and if he does well and like supports the trash that he talked, he'll go and back that up on social media. Whether it's Twitter or Instagram, he'll do both.
Gotcha. And now I know Jalen Ramsey, I heard stories of him in college. They said, he'd be studying, he'd be on the best receiver, so he'd be studying the receivers' tendencies, what routes he's going to run. But he said usually a night or two before the game, he'd go to Instagram, try and find the guy's girlfriend, and he'd send her direct messages, try and get in the guy's head.
Yeah.
Just anything he could do, and social media was kind of his. He's definitely talking trash on the field. That's just him as a player. 100% he's doing that. But just going the extra mile. You
got to be good to do it. And I think trash talking is just a part of the game, and social media just adds to it. So Jalen Ramsey was good in college, won the national championship with Florida State, I believe in, 2013?
Yeah.
So the fact that he had the time to not only study and be really good at his sport or his craft, and then had the time to go out and, get in somebody's head, reaching out to their girlfriend and stuff like that, that's just a different mentality, I think.
Gotcha. And now, where would you say the line gets drawn? Well, what's too much for, reaching out to a guy? Like, is that too much going to a guy? Like,
yeah.
In your opinion, I think so too.
I'm a big trash talker myself, although I don't play sports. And back freshman year of college, I was like looking into people's families and stuff like that. I had a guy from Ball State wanted to fight me. I wasn't even on the team. I just talked that much trash.
Give me some kind of, what do you, Ball State, what's up? football or
No, this was in baseball. Coastal played Ball State in one of the opening tournaments. And I was talking about his mom, his sister, and all that. And then he was in right field. He was their best player. He's now on a Braves affiliate team, like the minor league team.
Okay.
And yeah, he turned back, said some foul language to me. I said something back to him, told me to meet him at the bus, and that's where his family confronted me and things like that. So social media can kind of.
Gotcha. Now, did you notice during that game, but you know, obviously he has his numbers on the sheet and everything, you know, his average, and you know, did he make any errors?
So he was obviously their best player numbers wise.
Mm-hmm.
And me and were you at that game?
I was not.
Okay, so me and your roommates and all that, we were there, and we spotted that immediately.
Yeah.
So, and he noticed we sat in the outfield. He's in right field right there. We sat there and we were like, we're going to go him all game long. And he had the worst game. I think he struck out like 3 times, grounded out, like did not do well. And he heard from us all game long just because he had such high expectations.
No, that definitely makes it a longer game, and especially once you're trying so
and it was
hard
close
to see
too.
more.
Ball State was not even supposed to be in the ball game, and they took us all 9 innings.
Yeah.
So
definitely one of those things where you're just trying so hard to
he
hit
could
a
have
ball
been
that
that
takes
extra
guys in the
boost, and
outfield.
he wasn't.
You know, it's just even more frustrating when
Yeah.
you strike out. Now, I know you have a friend who plays for Clemson football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What's his
BT
name?
Potter.
Okay, so now I know Clemson does a unique thing where they do no social media for the season.
Yeah,
Do
they
you know
do this
anything
thing
about
called
that?
See You in January, where they do a complete blackout of social media throughout, I guess, from August when the practice officially starts
Mm-hmm.
until their season is done in January. So obviously their goal is to make it to the college football playoff. Now, that I think in terms of like, that doesn't mean that they can't look at anything. They're not allowed to post and like be active on there. And I don't disagree with it. I know a lot of people individually, like for college basketball, one of my favorite college basketball point guards, his name is Jordan McCabe. He does it individually, but the whole team doesn't do it. I kind of think if you do it individually, that's kind of like a mentality thing.
Mm-hmm.
But forcing the whole team to do it, I think, is an extent where they're going to be on their phones. Everybody's on their phones all the time.
Yeah.
You know, my phone's going off in my pocket right now. So the difference between me and BT is like, if I went out one night and I wanted to like post on Snapchat the good time I'm having, I have the freedom to do that. But because BT is simply playing a college sport, he can't do that. I think that's a little extreme.
Yeah. So if you were to be, say you're a coach of a top 25 football team right now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, are you letting your players go on social media, post, do whatever they want?
I probably would, just because you have so much downtime, especially like when you're traveling and stuff. Like you have downtime. I know people that contact their families through social media. Like they have like family group chats on Facebook and things like that. So if they need to use stuff like that, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Now don't be stupid. DM people's girlfriends and talk trash that you can't back up.
Yeah.
That's the way I would see it. I definitely wouldn't want them in their phones 24/7. Now, if it's an occasional thing, I don't have a problem with it. Now, if you have like a problem with it, that's all you're doing, things like that, then I would kind of not single you out, sit you down and be like, hey, we need to limit this, cut it down to a minimum, be smart on there.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I don't think it's a problem, but I think it's, you know, if you're a coach, you know, you're in charge of everything that's going on there. It's definitely something that has to be regulated. You know, it's kind of a zero tolerance thing, you know, because, I mean, you see, like you were saying, Antonio Brown and all that, you know, it's in the news. I mean, the second you slip up, like the littlest bit, I mean, you're going to be all over all platforms. You're going to be the talk. And then, you know, with screenshots and everything, it never goes away. So it's definitely,
once you put it out there, it's out there for everybody to
it's
have.
definitely something that once you slip up, it's tough to get up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but thank you for coming in and talking to us today. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a new video up tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed.